This is a personal favorite of mine. These guns aren't imported any longer, but you can still find them. It's a Romanian SAR1. These were brought in between 1999 and 2002, 2003, about the last ones I saw. It was brought in as a high capacity gun. You can tell by the dimpled mag well here. It was brought in during the assault weapons ban, so no threaded barrel. Then the bayonet lug was taken off. Otherwise, it's all Romanian receiver, Romanian chrome-lined barrel. The 922 all parts are the trigger, gas piston. Don't really need one on the muzzle. I put a PM63 stock set on it with the vertical foregrip. That's basically what the SAR1 is. It's a semi-auto version of the Romanian AKM rifle, which they call the PM 1963, PM model 1963, whatever. It was essentially a licensed clone-built copy of the Soviet AKM. Has a scope rail on the side. And I've had this one for 12 years now, so it's been around forever. It was my first AK, has a lot of sentimental value to me, and it's always been a very reliable and good shooting gun. I've thought about having the barrel threaded and, you know, adding a bayonet lug, because we can do that now legally, but maybe I will, maybe I won't. And it has a 20 round mag in it. This is a Hungarian mag. I had some Romanian 20 rounders, but apparently those are valuable. So people talked me out of them when they started flashing dollars at my face. So I'm with my Hungarians now, and that's fine. And of course, this is a standard early Romanian leather sling. So we'll shoot this one, and this is the first of the Romanian guns we're going to be talking about. And it's, like I said, an early AKM. This is basically a semi-auto version of the Romanian RPK. In Romanian service, it was called the PM model of 1964, PM64 LMG. This is an earlier AES-10B import with the fixed wood stock. I purchased this several years ago, and it has most of the early features. It has an original chrome-lined heavy barrel, Romanian 1.6 millimeter thick heavy RPK receiver, 50% thicker top cover, bulged front trunnion, adjustable RPK sight for windage and elevation, has a carry handle, which is decently functional, heavy lower handguard, pretty standard upper handguard, paddle style butt stock for using like this, you know, you shoot. And of course, a folding bipod. Now, a lot of people criticize these, saying this bipod's off a PKM. That's true and it's not true. The Romanians used the same bipod for their RPK and their PKM machine guns, you know, kind of a one-size-fits-all pod, and they use shims up here to make it fit different size barrels. So, although this would not be the right bipod for a Russian or Bulgarian gun, it is actually what the Romanians used on their RPKs until they went to the adjustable bipod with the PA-86 LMG and 545. Here we have an original Romanian top-loading 75 round drum, which is correct for this. They also issued these with 40 round box magazines, which would fit in the AK. And so this is 100% Romanian except for the required 922R parts. And it's been a great fun gun. It's not light. It's about 15-20 pounds fully loaded. But the fact that it's an imported real RPK and semi-auto is just, I thought they were really cool when they first brought them in. Next we have an infamous Wasser 1063. This is obviously an underfolder. These are imported from Romania with original Romanian receivers, original Romanian chrome-lined barrels, standard weight. They have non-dimpled receivers because they come in as low caps. You can kind of tell right there. They cut them out and they put mags in. I have never had trouble with mag wobble, and I've never heard of mag wobble causing a gun to jam. However, I have had first-hand experience with a gun that had too tight of a mag well that jammed every time until we took a Dremel to it and filed it out. So I would say actually having a slightly loose well is better than a slightly tight one, but that's an argument for another day. I picked this one out of a batch of 4 because it has a milled folding stock. You can tell it's cut out here. Here it's not the stamped tube style. It has a nice detent. You can hear when the thing folds. It's very secure. Something else I did is I had a parts kit that had the original back swept forward grip. So when you fold the stock, I can do it here without embarrassing myself too much, it clears it without problems, which is nice. A regular forward swept dong would hit it there. And it's kind of nice because you can fire it that way or with the stock unfolded. In military service in Romania, this is called the model PM 1965, PM65. It was just their version of the AKMS underfolder, almost an exact clone except for the furniture. Even some of the stocks, the early ones, the milled ones, some of them were made in Russia and shipped to Romania for finishing. Later after this they went to a stamped stock, and then after that they went to like a tube stock that was hollow. That was the cheaper one, but they still work, but that was the later. This is an early one. I believe this is a kit dated 1967 if memory serves. And these are built in Romania from D-mill guns, which is kind of neat. Has a muzzle nut on the end instead of a slant brake, which is correct. It is threaded barrel. It does have a bayonet lug, unlike the SAR1 we just looked at. And it's just a fun gun, kind of different. Nice to have a completely, original foreign-made underfolder. Alright, we have an interesting one here. It is a Wasser 1063KR carbine. Essentially, what this is a Draco pistol, but imported as a carbine. Century only did these for one summer. I think it was 2008. I remember seeing them in the catalog, and that was it. I don't know if they weren't popular, but I know they're fun as hell to shoot. Basically, this is a civilian legal copy of the Romanian PM model 1990 or PM90 short rifle. Like the Draco, this has a 12-inch chrome lined barrel. But of course 12 inches are too short for civilians without an SBR, so a extended muzzle brake has been brazed onto the end of the barrel. You can see it there. So it has the original 12-inch chrome lined barrel from here to here, and then there's an extended muzzle brake with ports on it, which actually do a reasonable job of helping with recoil. It's actually very fun to shoot. Has Romanian laminated wood handguards, which are correct for this model. For some reason the Romanian military always had these without the vertical grip, at least in this form in 7.62. These were used some during the Revolution and afterwards. It has the more recent style of side folding stock on it, the German style paddle release. This folds to the right. You can still access the safety. It's all there. It has the appropriate shorter 20-round mag, which they still like to use in these. This one has been refinished. When I got it in, it was used. I bought it used off a guy, secondhand, so it had seen some use. But it does have a scope rail on the side. It does have a Wasser style undimpled receiver. I wish it didn't. I wish it was a Draco style, but take what you can get. I've been very happy with it. It seems to be very reliable, and it's just a unique and short, lightweight gun for what it is, for being all metal. This is another RPK, made in Romania, imported by Century, but it's all Romanian receiver, barrel. It is the heavy receiver, heavy duty dust cover, adjustable rear sight, heavy barrel. It has a different bipod and a few different things, including a folding stock here. The reason this one's a little different, the PA86 was adopted with this talked about in 545, and they adopted an LMG RPK in 545 as well, called the P86 LMG. For some reason in 1989, Romania made some P86 LMGs but in 7.62 by 39, the older caliber. I don't know if you can see, but on the trunnion it's dated 1989, and all of these that were brought in were dated 1989. So basically you have the 545 butt design, but in 7.62. It has a folding stock. This is not a stock that Century put on. This was originally from Romania. It's actually a little different than the P86 standard stock. It's a little heavier. Heavier wire here, heavier lockup here. Also a difference, this one has an adjustable bipod with these wing nuts, which you can, the legs come out. It's, you know, different length. And another difference, the original military versions had a conical type flash hider on it. This one was made by CNC Warrior, and it's actually a PKM style flash hider. But anyway, it gives you the idea of the conical flash hider. When you get them from Century, they just come with muzzle brakes, or they come with the slant brake, which is just not correct. So any kind of bird cage is better than nothing. Otherwise, it's like the older RPK, and it's still called an AES 10B. There's no model difference, and shoots the same. All right, here's another one I've had for several years. It's a Romanian SAR2. Now, these were imported just like the SAR1 from about 1999 through 2002 or 3. It was imported as a high cap gun. You can tell by the dimpled receiver. Romanian receiver, Romanian chrome line 16-inch barrel. I've done some work to this one, but first we'll talk. This is essentially a semi-auto version of the Romanian PA-86 assault rifle. Now the 86 was Romania's 5.45 by 39 gun. A lot of people think it's an AK-74. Not really. It was more of a development of the AKM, but for the smaller caliber. If you can note the 45-degree gas block, and just the overall design, it harkens back more to the AKM than the AK-74. Now the SAR-2 came in with a fixed stock, which, you know, during the assault weapons ban, that's what we had to do. This one I put on a Romanian early style folder. It's a little stiff, but you get the idea. I also dropped in a upswept charging handle carrying bolt carrier, so you can. They did that so it would easily clear the folded stock. Even with the straight one, it will, but I guess that's just to be doubly sure. It has either a Romanian or a Polish 30-round steel magazine, which is correct. The Romanians used steel mags. It has the vertical foregrip made of wood. It has a top handguard made of Bakelite, which is also correct. Only the really early ones had Bakelite lowers. They probably quit using them because it was just not durable. These were imported without bayonet lugs or threaded barrels because it was the assault weapons ban. During the ban, I had a Tapco AK-74 looking brake brazed on, just to, you know, make it look a little more like the original. Now that the ban is long over, I actually did pick up an original Romanian front sight base with 22mm threads and bayonet lug down here. I've been lazy and haven't had it installed yet, but it's sitting in my desk. It'll eventually go on to complete the PA-86 clone look. This is the newer type of sling that they use, made of you know, nice, flexible, wide green canvas. Very popular sling. Well done. And like I said, I've had this gun for about 10 years. It's been fun to shoot. It was my first 5.45 rifle. Back when I purchased this, the 5.45 caliber was basically unknown in the US, and ammo was limited at best. You could find some Wolf, but there was no surplus available, and even finding the rifles in the caliber was next to impossible. So another long live gun that I've had for a while and really like it, and we'll shoot it here in a bit. And our final Romanian rifle for today is the Romanian PSL, which has gone under several other names and is often misidentified as an SVD and or a Dragunov. It is the same rifle the Romanian military uses to fill the role of the Dragunov, which is a dedicated marksman rifle, not a sniper's rifle, but a dedicated marksman. They issued these to squads. You know, each squad had one man with them. just to kind of extend the range. It shoots 7.62 by 54R, not 7.62 by 39. This one's Romanian. It has a Romanian chrome-lined barrel, which is about 22 inches long. Some had pinned-on muzzle devices. This one has threaded. It seems like the Romanian Kuger factory just kind of made them however people wanted them, either permanent as part of the front sight base or removable. Originally they had bayonet lugs here, but for importation they mill them off. Has a RPK style of thick receiver, 1.5, 1.6 millimeter. Wooden furniture. This is an original 4-power military optic. Like I said, it's not a SVD, which is a short stroke piston, blah blah blah. This one is based on an AK. It's a long stroke, just like an AK. It's essentially an overgrown AK. It uses 10-round box magazines. That was the standard size. These were always semi-auto, even in military service. A few notes for PSL owners. It's a good idea not to fire ammunition heavier than 150 grain, just because the rifle wasn't built for it. In fact, it's not a good idea to fire anything heavier than 150 grain, even in a Mosin Nagant, because the heavier stuff, 184, was meant for machine guns. Also, it's not a good idea to rapid fire. It tends to unseat the scope mount. It wasn't really meant for rapid fire. Just, maybe 1 or 2 follow-up shots and then slow down. They're good guns. Right now, they're kind of hard to get. For years, they were quite readily available, and of course, when they were available, people didn't think a whole lot about them. Some people bought them, some people didn't. But now that they're no longer available, everyone seems like they want a PSL, and they are good rifles for what they are. Just keep in mind they're a marksman rifle. They're meant to be, minute of person accurate at 400 to 450 meters, not, sniper grade accuracy. And for what they were designed for, they're very robust, rugged. They're easy to clean, forgiving, and they're built in Romania. Kuger has built these for all kinds of people in Africa, South America, the Middle East, and of course for their own military.